this short video, I'm going to talk about religion and, how it's ruined, a lot of lives in this country, and how it ruined a lot of countries, and, in our past, and is ruining countries nowadays. This is my honest opinion, um, as a shaman, as a modern day shaman, because I am a shaman. I'm a real shaman, and I'm not any religion. And I'm going to start by talking about the religions I'm not. I've done this before, but I'm going to do it again because I want to make sure it sticks. And I want to make sure that people understand that a lot of the hype that's being created about me is nothing. And people aren't buying it. They weren't buying it before. First off, I'd like to say I'm not Islam. Do you understand? I'm not part of any Islam group, extreme Islam or moderate mainstream Islam. I have nothing to do with that religion. I'm not a Muslim, period. Now, I was a Christian. I was, raised as a Christian, and I just want to talk a little bit about that. I grew up being raised up in a religion, an occult, called Jehovah's Witnesses. And the Jehovah's Witness religion was started by a 33-degree Mason whose name was Charles T. Russell. Now, I was a student of his, and I studied all of his works for a very long time. I was a disciple of Charles T. Russell's teachings, but currently, right now, I'm not part of that religion, and I don't have anything to do with it. Also, Judaism. For a brief period in my life, I was part of what they call Messianic Judaism. I studied it and was part of it. I read from a Bible that was a blue Bible called the Scriptures, and I believed in that form of religion. I don't anymore. I'm not part of Judaism, Christianity, or Islam in any way. And I want to make sure that you understand that my spiritual form is a free-form shamanism. I'm a free-form shaman. I dress like a free-form shaman. I live like a nomad. My art is petroglyphs that are ancient writings found in the Middle East, Negev desert. There below is the state of 1947 Israel. Everything below that is what I study. The old writings, the stuff that you find carved into the mountains and the stones, the original spirit form, back to a time when there were shamans, magi, nomads, and free people that were explorers and tribal type peoples that were free people, free of the constraints and restraints of religion and its many laws that were added onto laws that have choked the human spirit nearly to death and robbed the human soul of its power. So you can see here, let me show you some of this here. See this right here? This is a hawk's feather, and this feather represents the creature that is part of my spirit guide. So I often wear hawk feathers in my my spiritual observance. I'll show you my other hawk feather. This one's a little bit longer. It's a hawk feather. You've heard the term "as free as a bird," and so the human spirit soars like a bird and it wants to be free, but it's being held down by oppressive, followers of different religions that have, stolen away the freedom from people, robbed their souls, and are seeking to keep their spirits in chains. And I'm not all right with it. We can see in the past these various different forms of religions and the things that they represent truly. And, Christianity and Christendom and all of its, its various different contradictions and lies and hypocrisy of peoples that, first of all, never treated their own people with respect, such as in England, old England, where the kings decided to, treat the commonplace whites like basic garbage and starve them half to death until they revolted and, basically destroyed everything that was holding them down. And they rebuilt from the ashes of that. But to make a long story short, Christendom is responsible for the Crusades, where a bunch of white-skinned people, not against all white-skinned people, but those white-skinned people went around forcing their religion, forcing their Zeus worship, because that's who the God of Christendom is Zeus. And Jesus is nothing but a picture of wall, the picture of that Jesus thing on the wall that they showed us as kids and taught us that was the Savior, is actually anything but a Savior. It's nothing more than Roman and Greek oppression retranslated into one of the biggest lies of all times. And so, nowadays, when you see, now that the North America, this natural native land, has been stolen from the North Americans, who are, forced to try to conform to Christianity and its God Zeus and, Jesus, whatever. Nothing but robbing their souls, robbing their land, stealing the freedom of their spirit, and putting a picture of Jesus, that imposter, on the wall. And that's why I have nothing to do with Christianity. And furthermore, you see more problems with Christianity across the boards, where in other countries, for instance, they tried to steal the Middle East from its rightful inheritance, from the inheritors, the Arabs. They tried to steal the Middle East way back to the time of Alexander, who they call Alexander the Great. But I don't think he was great. I don't like him. He's nothing great to me. Christianity and Christendom continues with its lies to this day, meddling in the affairs of other countries, trying to put prop leaders, fake leaders over in the Middle East, and it's not accepted very well, and it won't be, because that land over there doesn't belong to Christendom. It belongs to the Arab bloodline, and it doesn't really have anything to do with whether or not you're a Muslim or not, because Islam was created specifically because imposters, crusaders, Christendom, and its Christians were there trying to steal the land away from its natural inheritance. So laws were added onto laws, and cruelty was added in there to try and invent Islam to help keep the Middle East belonging to the Arabs. And that's who it will always belong to, because that's who it's been given to. And talk a little bit about Judaism and my views about Judaism. The imposter religions, the Hellenistic religions that stemmed once the Greeks and the Romans went in and desecrated Jerusalem, lifted up an altar to Zeus instead of its original god, we can see that in modern day Judaism. And the 1947 fake country Israel that was put in place by a bunch of racist white people, and the leftover remnants of the northern tribes of Israel, who mixed in with the elite class of the Roman rule there, were nothing but a bunch of sellouts. And that's the reason why they're always the instigators. That's the reason why this false country, 1947 Israel, is the instigator, and why there'll never be peace in the Middle East, because they don't belong there. They never belong there since a pig was sacrificed on their altar by the insidious and useless, Romans and other pagans who were nothing but a bunch of narcissistic murderers. They never belong there. They'll never belong there. That's my honest opinion of it. And I don't have to put on for anybody. I don't have to put on for anybody. You don't belong there. You don't belong in the Middle East, because you're not accepted there, because you don't belong there. I'm not part of Judaism. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care whether or not you're a Jew or not a Jew. It doesn't make me any difference. I don't give one damn about Hitler or the occults and the groups that funded him and the things that I say. I'm not part of radical Islam, but the spirit God that I chose is all, and it means all, and as far as all the lies that have been told about the people of the Middle East and all the problems that are going on over there that are being blamed on Arabs, and blamed on Islam, people need to take another look at it, because it's not just Islam extremism that's causing the problems in the Middle East. It's Christendom's extremism. It's Judaism and Zionism. Zion is occult extremism. They're the extremists. They're the instigators that are the ones starting all this trouble and trying to steal lands from other people that aren't going to give it up. And they want you to believe that, they demonize the Arabs and say that they're to blame. But I'm telling you that before Muhammad ever existed, the nomads existed before Muhammad. The nomads, the free people, the spiritual people that had spiritual way of life that was an art, not a religion. And you can see their art in the petroglyphs written on those stones in Yemen. You can see it written in Colorado, and it was also written here in North Carolina from the Cherokee before the Chinese invaders destroyed most of those stones. But there again, religion has done nothing for any of us. And if you're a person that understands, religion is what's causing these problems. They're the extremism of Christendom and Zionism is what fuels and what started groups like ISIS, what they call ISIS, the Islamic State of Syria. They're responsible for going over there and trying to put puppet leaders over there over people that don't want that. They don't want the tentacles, of Christendom and this religion that exists over here in the West, over here in the United States of America. They don't want any part of Christendom. They don't want it. So get used to it. It's always been that way since the time of Saladin. And it doesn't matter. They don't give one damn if you're a Jew or not. The same as me. I don't care if you're a Jew or not. It doesn't make any difference. And, when a person is stealing land from someone else, it's not going to be good. And it's not going to go over well. And there's going to be bodies on both sides and a lot of money spent. And there's no way that Christendom's going to win. All the way back to the Templars, when Saladin was chopping off their heads and explaining to them, this is my land. This land belongs to me, to my people. And so you can see the mistake of the native Indian for trusting Christendom. What it got them, thrown on reservations where everybody's drunk all the time, high on meth, and robbed of their land. That's why the people in the Middle East fight. That's why there's rebels there that won't suck up to puppet leaders, puppet presidents, and puppet people that they put in there to try and rob them of their natural inheritance. So that's what I believe, and I don't have to. I'm not trying to win a popularity contest here. I really don't give a shit if you like about what I'm talking about or not. Because it never got me anything trying to. All the years that I tried to conform to Christendom's false ideologies, all the lies. You understand what I'm telling you? And those lies come across as just what they are. I mean, in any country, it's false. It's not true. It's not. Don't be religious. Be spiritual. Be individuals in touch with your spirit. There's more power in your human soul than in every single goddamn religion that's on the face of this planet. There's a real spirit. A spirit that made your spirit all spirit. And that's what I encourage people to go with instead of this other stuff, because it's nothing but causing division, wars, and problems. And that's all it's going to do. It's going to keep right on doing that. That's what religion's going to do. And I'm not part of the occult. I'm not. I talked about Charles T. Russell and Jehovah's Witnesses being an offshoot of Masonry, and that's exactly what it is. I don't agree with anything Masonic. You know what I'm saying? Just the opposite. I don't like Masonic stuff. I don't care about it. I don't give one damn about Mason symbols, Illuminati. I'm not part of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's cool. Right at the heart of what every single Mason who's a 33-degree Mason and anybody else knows, once you get to that level, they worship Lucifer, not God. Do you understand? Their God is the devil. And so that's the truth about that. I don't want anything to do with it. I'm sick and tired of these people running around out here acting like it's cool in Hollywood, throwing up Mason symbols and all this stuff, and everybody thinks that's cool. That's not cool. That ain't no good at all. And that's the reason why people in other countries keep blowing themselves up and blowing up other people and fighting and dying and killing, because they don't want nothing to do with Satan, you see. And they know better than that. They know what that is. That's nothing but slavery, being a slave to somebody trying to hypnotize you and control your mind and make a fool of you. And they don't want that in the Middle East. They don't want it. So stop taking it to them and stop blaming them because they won't accept, peace deals and stuff. All of that stuff in the government, all that 33-degree Mason shit ain't nothing but Satan. And it ain't even the real Satan. It's a counterfeit Satan. It's another Satan. They don't even know who the real devil is. That's how confused it is. And so I ask people to take an individual approach to spiritualism today. And know that we've been lied to in Sunday school. That picture of Jesus on the wall might as well have two horns painted on it, because it ain't nothing but a different Satan. That's all it is. And, I didn't go to Bible college, but as a scholar, I may be one of the most skilled scholars on the face of the planet. I decoded the Tetragrammaton, I decoded the petroglyphs, and I found that religion is hijacked the original spiritualism. And, like when I say all, Allah, all, what that means is God, the God who arises, God, the one and only God. But then when people hear me say that, they think I'm a Muslim, but I'm not a Muslim. I don't follow Islam. And although I regard Muhammad as a great man, I realize that before Muhammad, that Ishmael existed, that the nomads existed. Abraham was a nomad, a free man. a spiritual person who is free and not in chains of religion and these lies of Judaism and the occults and Zionism and nothing but a different form of Satanism. And you know, you have the outright Satanists who believe they're following Satan, although they don't really know who the real Satan is. But they believe they're following Satan, and you know, Satan doesn't really even care. He sends somebody else to play his part for now, and they don't realize the confusion. But the Satanists that will admit to you that they're Satanist, at least they admit it to you. You see what I mean? Because Zionism and the occultism, the same cultism that was, you know, that Hitler studied, that is also Satanism. And it's nothing but evil, offshoot of Christendom, and wickedness and lies. It's people going off and believing this nonsense. So choose freedom, choose free will and spirit, because that's what God is. God is free, you know, and a person who believes in God is free, and not having to be, you know, chained into religions and different forms of slavery that exist in those cults of today. That's all that I have to say about it for now. I'm going to go ahead and stop the video, and I'll be back with some more at another time, my friends.